The film begins with a calm and heartwarming moment. He carefully carves his name into a wooden bench, a sweet and innocent act that shows the carefree nature of childhood. His hand begins to shake uncontrollably. In the days that follow, Leonard continues to experience serious problems with controlling his body. Sometimes, the hardest goodbyes are the ones we never get to say. The story then jumps ahead many years to the year 1969 in the Bronx. We are introduced to a quiet, kind-hearted doctor named Malcolm Sayer, but experience isn't always the same as seeing what others refuse to see. However, since the hospital desperately needs help, they decide to hire him. That afternoon, Dr. Sayer becomes overwhelmed by the large number of patients who cannot move or who show little to no mental awareness. He has no wife or children and spends his evenings reading books about plants and natural medicine. The following day, Dr. Sayer begins working with a specific patient named Lucy. She is an elderly woman. She does not move, speak, or show any reaction to anything around her. As his glasses begin to fall from his face, Lucy quickly reaches out and catches them before they hit the ground. How many signs go unnoticed because we refuse to hope? In a world of doubts, belief is the rarest medicine. To his amazement, she starts walking slowly. But then, she stops walking suddenly. We realize that but now he is an adult, frozen in a motionless state. When Dr. Sayer asks how, she responds that he would understand if he had children of his own. Some bonds speak in silence, some love needs no proof. This response makes Dr. Sayer even more curious. She tells him how Leonard's condition slowly got worse when he was a child, how he gradually lost his ability to move or speak. When Dr. Sayer asks what Leonard loved most, she replies, reading. Even in silence, Leonard's mind was still turning pages. But then Leonard moves the pointer on his own and spells out the title of a book. Dr. Sayer reads the book and feels a deep emotional connection to Leonard's inner life. He meets with a chemical expert to talk about a drug called L-Dopa, which has been used for patients with Parkinson's disease. He says Parkinson's and the patient's conditions are too different to assume the drug will help. Dr. Sayer pleads to try the medicine on one patient, Leonard. To move forward, he needs permission from Leonard's mother. With cautious hope, Leonard's mother agrees and signs the papers to allow the treatment to begin. He secretly gives Leonard a much larger dose than usual. In the early morning, he wakes up from a short nap and is shocked to see that Leonard's bed is empty. Finally, he finds Leonard sitting alone in the recreation room. The very first thing he chooses to do is write his name, just like he used to when he was a child. He is soon reunited with his mother. The moment is so touching that even the nurses nearby begin to cry. Eleanor, but the next day when he sees his reflection in the mirror for the first time, he becomes frightened. He realizes that he is no longer a young boy. He has become a grown man. He worries that if he falls asleep, he might wake up frozen again and unable to move. His mother gently sings to him, and eventually, he falls asleep. As they pass through the city, Leonard recognizes familiar places from his childhood, including his old school. It is the same bench where he carved his name many years ago. Although his boss doubts it will work, many hospital staff start supporting Leonard because they are inspired by how much he has changed. They collect enough money to give the L-Dopa treatment to all the other patients in the ward. Then, one by one, patients who were unresponsive for years start waking up. That night is filled with wonder and hope. Even though they all know there will still be challenges ahead, they are having a hard time caring for all the newly awakened patients. One woman insists everything she went through was just a dream. Someone else happily requests a juicy steak. However, many of them are confused and unsure what year it is. He has become deeply interested in a beautiful girl he saw at the hospital. She tells him about her father who was in a coma. She visits him often, even though he never wakes up. She believes that sometimes he is almost aware. He wants the right to leave the hospital whenever he chooses. Leonard's request has been denied. He says that he believed the hospital in his own way, whether the doctors allow it or not. He tries to convince them to join him in a protest against the hospital. They fear it because they know we're not the problem. He starts to lose control of his movements. it becomes clear that his illness is coming back. He is simply reacting to being set free from one kind of prison, only to be trapped in another. He never did the things that make life full, like falling in love or getting married. Dr. Sayer tries to warn Leonard. After thinking about it for a moment, he becomes furious. In a burst of rage, Leonard pushes Dr. Sayer to the ground. Quietly, without saying anything, he fixes the doctor's broken glasses. He feels sorry for hurting the only person who might have truly brought his spirit back to life. It becomes clear now that the medicine only worked for a short time. They are afraid they will lose their own improvements. She says she already feels like she no longer belongs in this time, even though she loves it deeply and misses it. But Leonard tells him that during all those years when he could not move or talk, he felt like he was already dead. Now, he cannot even do simple things like brushing his teeth. He asks the doctor to record him on video. He begins to feel like he is letting everyone down. She begs him to stop the medicine and end her son's suffering. But the mother says it looks like Leonard is losing the battle. He manages to go out again with the girl he likes, but his hands and body shake badly. The girl gently holds his hand and starts dancing with him. Her caring action calms his shaking. When later that night, he tries to draw again, but his hand no longer works. He now has to wear diapers again. And so Leonard, as he watches, he silently asks himself how anyone could call it kindness to give Leonard a second chance at life, only to take it away so soon after. She says that life is given and taken away from everyone, and that one by one, the other patients also return to their sleepy, lifeless state. He spreads Leonard's message to enjoy and be thankful for life's simple, everyday moments. The nurses continue to care for the patients with kindness. They still pay attention to each person's unique personality and preferences, even though the patients are no longer awake. The girl Leonard liked still comes to visit. She now reads books to him regularly, even though he cannot respond.